All right, man. So Ryan Garcia, his father Henry is gonna now be training him for the Mario Barrios fight. I've been seeing people around the internet talking about Ryan Garcia's lack of focus for the Barrios fight. My thing is nothing has been formally announced. Apparently, according to the Boxing Scene article I read that broke the news, February 21st is the date. And my whole thing about it is the tickets on sale? Was it an opening press conference? It's just got failure written all over this particular fight, in my humble opinion. Okay, but check out the Boxing News playlist, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Basically, father was saying that he been through all the trainers, and Joe Goosen said, well, my son, who was Barrios trainer for this fight, because he trained Ryan, when Ryan's 100%, nobody can beat him. The father said I stepped back when it came to Eddie Renasso and Goosen, and it's certain things that trainers have to explain to Ryan. I could say one word and he gets it. A bunch of excuse making for the role he fighted. He wasn't right. Me and my wife knew he wasn't right. He had to take cortisol shots. They wasn't working. His hands was messed up. He wasn't mentally right after being gone a year. This is going to be a different Ryan, and they on pace to fight Conor Ben and a lucrative payday and all this stuff. And I think a lot of people was pointing out when he had his open workout versus Tank in the gym, in his garage, that he was going to lose. And now you got people around the internet speculating that he not focused, doing all these different streams, fighting with bitches and actors and actresses and snitch ass niggas and pookies on his streams, and that he not focused for the fight and he not really training. And my thing is, I look at it as at least somebody promoting the damn fight. I don't hear nothing from Barrios' side, which is a good thing as far as working, but who's promoting this fight? Where is this fight going to be at? You know what I'm saying? Who promoting the fight? It ain't even been a formal announcement, and we about 5-6 weeks out. So there ain't really been no formal announcement. So he just gonna keep it in the family. I don't know much about his father training, but being around, Joe Goosen, Eddie Renasso, Canelo Alvarez, maybe he might have more discipline and structure. I know one thing with Derrick James, he ain't play that shit. There was discipline, there was structure. You know what I'm saying? And Ryan doesn't do well with discipline and structure. You can tell. It was rumors that, out of the Canelo camp, that he would run off in camp and he wouldn't, be on time. He wouldn't be punctual. He'll be doing this, and he really wasn't focused on boxing. And that's where the narrative that Ryan Garcia doesn't really want to fight, because he doesn't take it serious. He don't lock in the camp. Remember, Marvin Hagler said he was going to prison when he was going to camp. Ryan Garcia, he not locked in. He trained when he feel like it, allegedly. He go do these other things, and he not 100% focused on boxing. So maybe Henry can get him focused on boxing. With Derrick James, there's a strict program. There's a strict program, a punctual program that's going on, and Ryan doesn't do well with structure and discipline. Ryan Garcia, he just don't do well. Even in the ring, he doesn't have patience. You know what I'm saying? He just feel like, he gotta, he can't wait to strike. He just feel like he gotta jump in and do what he gotta do. But and maybe the father maybe could reach to him. He said that, certain things that trainers gotta break down to him in instructions, that he could say a word and Ryan understand. And maybe this might be best for Ryan Garcia, to be honest for you. But if Henry ain't gonna lay down the law and get his son to be focused and walk a straight path, when you focus on something, I remember they was talking about Terrence Crawford for the Errol Spence fight and his focus, and even for the Canelo fight, his personal trainer, the strength and conditioning coach, was saying like he never complained. We laid out a plan what he had to do. He never complained. He followed the plan. They go away to Colorado and turn off the outside world for the most part, and he follows the plan. He probably lives a clean lifestyle. They live like a monk. Everybody on structure. Ryan Garcia camps don't be like that. I can tell you that. He do what the fuck he want to do. He don't take it serious. So you got to understand, when he with Henry, will Henry get him to really lock in that way? It shouldn't be being around celebrities. It shouldn't be being around hoes, being a streamer. No, you focus on the task at hand, the fight at hand. This is the biggest fight of your life. You know, even though you feel like you promoting it and you keeping it alive, but hey, the victory is more important than the promotion and the marketing of his fight. And that's the problem with Ryan Garcia. He just remind you of a female. Females are spontaneous for the most part. That's their identity. They lack discipline. You know, they feel like they always got to move. You know, you ever notice one thing about a person that's an addict? They could be addict to lean. They could be addict to crack. They can be an addict to weed, to cigarettes. When they don't, one thing you know about an addict or a recovering addict, alcohol addict, whatever their addiction may be, they can't sit down. That's the number one way to find an addict. An addict that just can't sit there and chill, where they always got to be fidgeting. They got to walk around in a circle. They got to get up and walk around. And they can never chill. They can never watch a program. They can never sit there and meditate. They can never focus on one task at hand. They always got to be doing something. And that's Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? That's right. He always got to be doing something. He can't just say, you know what, let's be disciplined. Let's get it. Let's fuck this nigga up in this fight. And then after the fight, I can do what I want to do. He can't be disciplined. He don't have no structure. Even in the ring, you see the lack of discipline. Following the game plan, he feel like he got to jump in and he got to get active. He can't just sit back, wait for the perfect time. That's why he got knocked out by Tank. It's boring. It's boring. He has attention deficit disorder. You can tell. Motherfucker's hyper. You can tell he was brought up under gentle parenting. And that's the thing about Henry training him. You know, that's the thing about it. You know, he probably gonna train when he want to train, run when he want to run, box when he want to box. I'm telling you, that's the problem with it. A training camp, you know, a Mayweather can do that. Because Mayweather gonna train, he gonna hit the bag, he gonna run. You gotta tell him what the fuck to do. But Ryan Garcia, he need a Derrick James to lay out a structure. Like, we doing this, that, and the third. He probably gonna train when he feel like training. He probably gonna spar when he feel like sparring. You know, he probably gonna, and when a fighter gets to the point and he, you know, when he start cutting corners, or he don't feel like he need to train, or he want to show up and train when he want to, or he half-assed and don't take the training no more, it's a wrap. And Ryan Garcia feel like it's always been that way. He's never had a hunger to be in the game to really be great. He's just here. Like, he's the first Jake Paul, to be honest. Nobody's ever took him serious as a fighter. He has talent, but he don't take it serious. He be drunk. He be high. Look like he be allegedly high and drunk at some of these events. And then you hear the rumors that, you know, he popping in and out of camp, training when he want to train. Where's the structure? You know what I'm saying? On one hand, you got all these extracurricular activities. You got all these fucking baby mamas. And then you trying to be a streamer. You know, when is the fight game gonna be the main game? You know what I'm saying? When it's the fight, yeah, you lose this fight, most people gonna say it's over. It's over. So is Henry gonna lay down a diligent, a true structured training camp? And right now, to the naked eye, and that's the naked eye, it's not looking that way. It looked like he ain't training with Joe Goosen. It looked like he ain't training with Eddie Renato. It looked like he ain't training. And this is just what we see on the internet with Derrick James. It looked like a Tubi training camp. It looked like they just throwing some shit together. It looks like that. And then it's, oh, we was hurt for that fight and our hand. Like, how the fuck you take a year off and you hurt? Because you know, when you get off that shit, your body start breaking down. When you relying on that shit and you stop getting on that shit, your body start breaking down. You start getting tissue injuries, muscle injuries, strains. That's what happens. That's why you see all these old bodybuilders and you hear people talking about, well, you know, they lift heavy weights and man, a lot of that shit is the juice. It's the juice. It's the juice. So ultimately for Ryan Garcia, you know, I think most people believe Mario Barrios' chances increase with Henry Garcia being Mario Barrios' trainer. I mean, with Henry Garcia being Ryan Garcia's trainer. I think most of us believe Barrios' chances increase. Because to the naked eye, and he don't look, I don't know if he in shape, he don't look out of shape for real, but to the naked eye, he just doing what the fuck he want to do. And then when he lose the fight, who he gonna blame? His pops? He don't take the shit serious. And that's crazy with one punch in the fight, or, you know, in a job that you have, or in a fight game, you can die in there. You can be permanently damaged in there. But he don't take the shit. So you can tell he don't take the shit serious. Waste of talent. Waste of fucking talent. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link in the description. The first link, the link tree, to take you to the Patreon. You can donate, Cash App, Venmo, CJ Good 313, PayPal link in there. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, the whole nine. Appreciate the love, support. Check out the Box Loose playlist. One time for the one time. Peace.